there, my name is Kathy Cooper. Welcome to my world once again. Thank you for tuning in. Today I'm going to be talking about dreams. They're very fascinating. Some of it's just run-of-the-mill day-to-day stuff that we're going over during our sleep. However, some particular dream symbols are very symbolic of events that may be happening around you now, or they're coming up in the near future. I particularly remember one instance. I was listening to a radio station, and the caller who actually rang in to speak to the dream interpreter said that he had a dream where he was looking out his apartment window across to another apartment window, and he saw a gentleman sitting there on a chair, and this gentleman was doing absolutely nothing. Nothing at all, just sitting there. And lo and behold, the dream interpreter said, "You're looking at yourself. Why don't you get out there, get living in the real world?" I thought that was absolutely fascinating. I learned a lot from that woman. She did a radio program once a week for about 11 years on one of the major radio stations. But I've found that the more positive dream interpretation symbols are eating, especially if there's a real lot of food on the table and you're having a feast. And sometimes it's even better if the food is sweet, such as chocolates, ice cream, all sorts of yummy things that, add the calories. Anyway, and it's also even very good because someone asked me one time, what if you're actually serving the food? And that was an interesting question, because it actually means that you're sharing around your abundance that's around you, and that you should enjoy these good times while they last. And other really good dreams are if you are in a romantic situation with somebody and they may only hug you or kiss you or put their arm around you, and they make you feel wonderful. And when you wake up, you just feel like you want to go back into that dream. It's just so lovely. So that's another really positive one as well. And also swimming, especially in the ocean, because when you're in a swimming pool, it's kind of constricted. There are walls around it. With the ocean, it's so vast, and especially if you do happen to like swimming, well then your subconscious is saying, come on, let's get out there in our dream time and have a splash or two. And one of the other fascinating dream symbols is when you're walking somewhere and you know exactly where you are going. Another one is, that's actually saying that you are on the right path. Another one is if you are walking up steps, or you're stood on a platform or a stage, that's saying that your position is going to be elevated. It's even more important if you, in the dream, are wearing absolutely beautiful clothes. Other symbols are floating, feeling like you can almost fly like Superman, and you're floating around the room, and you may be wearing beautiful clothes and you're having a wonderful time. And that's just basically saying, look, life can be beautiful. It can be absolutely so positive. So go out there and make your life what you want it to be, what you dream it to be, what you imagine it to be. And we do have the power to do that. Our brain is our most powerful tool, so we can create whatever we wish for. Now, just to go on a different track with regards to dream symbols, some of the difficult ones are actually trying to tell us that we're not coping very well, or that we're not sure what path we should be taking at this point in time. And one of the main dream symbols for that is when you are feeling lost in the dream. You can't find someone, You can't find where you're going to, you can't find an address, you can't find your own home, you can't remember the street address you live in. You're trying to tell someone, and no matter which turn you take along the roads, you just cannot seem to find where you want to be. And that's usually, it can be actually exhausting in the morning. You wake up and you think, why did I feel so lost, and why couldn't I find my home? Why couldn't I find the person I was looking for? Why weren't they there? And it's because sometimes it's actually projecting into the future. And I'll give you a little example of this, and it not traumatized me, but it certainly disturbed me at the time. And this was during my second marriage, when I was looking for my husband. Now, I was already officially married to him, but in the dream, for some reason, he had decided to end the relationship. And I went looking for him, and I couldn't find him. And I was lost, absolutely lost. Now, as it turned out, and I actually had that dream several times, so it was not very comforting, considering I was very happy at the time, and I wouldn't have wished for a more wonderful husband, so I couldn't understand really very clearly at that time why I was having these disturbing dreams and I couldn't find him. Now, this in actual fact happened only a matter of several months before he passed away. So the consequence of that dream was saying to me that once he was gone, I would feel very lost, and I did. You have no idea how lost a person can feel when they are grieving the loss of someone they love very much. Other obstacle dreams are when you're in a room and you can't get out. You open a door and you go through another corridor, and then you open another door and you can't find what you're looking for, and you just keep going through doorways, corridors, etc. And that's again telling you that you're absolutely not quite sure which direction you should be going in. So try to look at your dreams from the perspective that if you're feeling troubled in your dreams, then there's probably some problems in your life you don't quite know how to resolve. Another one, and I have dreamt this so many times, is I'm trying to fly and I keep going up, and I get caught by like all the electrical wires. And especially if it's around train stations and they have so many wires above the trains, and I do not like those dreams, because I know I'm stuck somewhere and cannot seem to find a solution. Other dreams that show that you're feeling a little troubled by something is if you're trying to dial a number. Now, this happens quite often to people. They're trying to dial, say, a friend or the police or someone, and the person on the other end of the phone will not respond to your request. They just will say, oh no, we haven't got time right now. Those sorts of things. So that's basically saying, start thinking a little bit more independently. Start thinking, how can you solve your current situation without having to reach out and ask for help from someone on the phone. Here we go with the ums again. Sorry. Now, dreams sometimes are just actually, like I've said before, you're going over your daily routines and affairs, and they're not necessarily anything really significant. And then there are the prophetic dreams. Now, the prophetic dreams, the interesting part about this is they usually occur very close to when you wake in the morning, so that they're very fresh in your mind, and they are usually trying to tell you about what is coming up in the very, very near future. So try to, remember those dreams. You probably will anyway, especially if they're the last dream you have before you wake up. One thing I really object to is alarms going off in the morning. They really can interfere with what your dream recall is. I prefer to wake up very naturally, slowly, lie there, think about what I was dreaming about, and mull it over for a while before I decide to say my affirmations before I get out of bed. Another dream that someone else had, and I won't go into too much detail because I don't want to really reveal too much for that person's privacy, but she told me actually over the phone on a radio station when I was doing these weekly guest spots talking about dreams, and she said to me, every time she was on her left hand side, she never had any nightmares. When she was lying on her right hand side, she didn't have any nightmares. And yet when she was laying flat on her back, she would have the most horrific nightmares. Now, for some reason, and this is what makes it easier, if you're actually talking to the person and they're telling you about the dreams, I tune into their voice, the way they express it. I ask them how they feel in the morning, and I get a lot more information from that. Now, I told her, and she knew what I meant. I just said, I know exactly what happened to you, and now that you know why you're having those nightmares lying on your back, they will probably go away. And that is exactly what happens. As soon as someone makes something clear to you about a problem or a dream that you're concerned about, it's amazing how quickly it disappears. I used to have dreadful dreams, and that went on for a couple of years. This was 3 or 4 decades ago, and I would dream about coffins under my bed. Now, that was because I had just been through a very traumatic situation, and it was like I was being haunted. I would say it was part of the post-traumatic trauma that people go through, unfortunately, after an unfortunate experience. So bear in mind that there are dreams that can enlighten us, dreams that can make us feel better, and if you wake up in the morning and you feel good, you know you're probably going to have a great day. So keep on dreaming, and possibly next time I record, I'm thinking about doing a lot of recall of premonitions that I've had, some that have been so funny and happened within seconds, and so I will be calling that my experiences of premonitions. Anyway, thank you very much for tuning in. I really hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope to see you next time. Thank you.